What is good, everybody? It is your boy Cab back with another Xenoverse video for you guys. Today we are here to talk about the future of the Xenoverse series and how the future for this series does definitely seem like it is not really close to being over. Now, whether that correlates and translates to a Xenoverse 3 or just more DLC content for Xenoverse 2 has yet to be seen. Now, I will say clearly by how my voice just changed right there, you can tell I'm very hopeful that it correlates and translates to a Xenoverse 3 as opposed to more DLC content, again, for Xenoverse 2. Now, let's talk about why I feel like this and why I truly feel like DLC 12 and DLC 13 potentially could be setting up Xenoverse 3 and the storyline of that game. Let's look at DLC 12 first and foremost. DLC 12 finally brings back this man Few as a villain, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Right when the DLC was announced to have Few in the story mode and have him as like the main villain this time around, it made me feel like it was already setting up something bigger. Before we had any insight to what the hell he was actually doing or anything along those lines, it really made me feel like, why would they be bringing him back now, of all times, if it's not for something bigger? If it's not for the potential, again, of a Xenoverse 3. Now, whether, again, like I said earlier, Xenoverse 3 or more DLC is yet to be seen, but let's pray for that Xeno 3, just saying. But continuing on with that, when you really look at DLC 12, we didn't get much of an insight as to what the hell this man Few was really doing. It was really just like the Kickstarter, I guess, for this part of the story in Xenoverse. Like, literally, all we got to know and find out was that this man Few was changing the timeline and gathering energy for some kind of experiments that he has going on right now. What are these experiments for? We really don't know at all, and I'm assuming in DLC 13 we might get some insight to that, especially at the end of this upcoming story mode. And the reason I'm saying that, guys, is because how the DLC 13 trailer ended. If you look at the end of the DLC 13 trailer, we get this little cliffhanger teaser quote thing from the Supreme Kai of Time where she says, "Connecting to a new timeline? ... What could that possibly mean?" Now, why would she even ask that question if Few does not unveil or reveal somewhat of his plan to not only the Supreme Kai of Time, but maybe your CAC, the Elder Kai, and Trunks as well? Because what I'm assuming is going to happen at the end of this DLC is Few is going to appear in the Time Nest and reveal some part of his plan and give you a little bit of an insight to what his plan actually is with these damn experiments, which would really still make it feel like this part of the story that involves Few is just getting started. And that is why I say I feel like there is still a lot more content to come in the Xenoverse series, whether it is that Xeno 3 or just more DLC. Now, let's look a little bit further though into what we got in that trailer, guys, and why the whole connecting to a new timeline thing really could be major. Because not only did we get that where the Supreme Kai of Time says that, but also right before that comes up, we see Few interacting with Bardock during Bardock's fight with Frieza. In Bardock's fight with Frieza, we all know the man's dies. But imagine if he actually survived and if he actually won that fight against Frieza at that point in time right there. The whole Dragon Ball timeline takes a whole complete 360 at that point. Like, it completely changes. Everything we know about the Dragon Ball timeline changes at that point right there. Because 1, Frieza would be gone. 2, Planet Vegeta and all the Saiyans would have survived. 3, you would assume that Bardock and Gine would try to find their son that they tried to send away in a Saiyan space pod so he could be safe from Frieza. Well, that's at least how the Dragon Ball Super part went. We don't really, in Dragon Ball Z, supposedly he was already sent to Earth to destroy that planet or whatever. But then if you look at the movie, like, it seemed like Bardock sent him away on purpose as well. So again, you would assume that they would go out there and try to find their son that was sent away on this Saiyan space pod. Now, if they were to go find him and get Goku back, the whole Dragon Ball timeline changes. Not even Dragon Ball is what we know it to be. Literally, Goku probably still would not meet like Krillin, Master Roshi, all of them, because if Bardock does survive and they go out to find him, Goku is still going to be a baby at that point in time. So that could be what Few potentially means by connecting to a new timeline, or what the end of the DLC 13 teaser meant by saying connecting to a new timeline, and what could that possibly mean. So I truly do feel that the future for this game has a lot more in store for us, and really just this story that we have going on right now with you has a lot more in store for us. Now let's talk about why potentially Xenoverse 3 could be where this story leads into, because there's a couple things besides how this story is going and how it seems like it's setting up something much bigger than just DLC's story that points to the potential of Xenoverse 3. First and foremost, I mean the domain. The domain for Dragon Ball Xenoverse3.com, the simple fact that it is a domain and it is a website that has already been taken up and was created literally before Xenoverse 1 even came out, that alone pretty much does show that it's not a troll, it's not a fake, and it was most likely created by, again, Bandai Namco. So with that being said, and we know that the domain has been pretty active recently in terms of updates and things like that, that's one thing that points to the potential of Xenoverse 3, right? But then also, man, you look at the story mode that we've had for DLC 12 and now upcoming in DLC 13. The cutscenes that we have seen in these two stories are looking absolutely godlike. Like, why would they improve so much on the visuals for the story mode of Xenoverse 2 if it wasn't for something bigger, again, like a Xenoverse 3? The improvement of those graphics, a lot of people have said right when they saw them, damn, that looks like somehow, I'm hoping that's how Xenoverse 3 looks like. Like, you see a lot of people saying that when they see those visuals and when they saw them for the first time in DLC 12. Because think about the fight with Goku, or Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Future Gohan up against the Janemmas. That shit was looking absolutely godlike. Then you look at some of the scenes that we got already for the DLC 13 story between Gogeta and Broly. Again, looking absolutely godlike and better than any of the story cutscenes we ever had in Xenoverse 2. Why would they improve so much on those visuals, so much on the graphics, just for some 30-minute DLC story? Because you really think about it, the DLC stories that we do get within these packs are really only about 30 minutes long. That's how long it really takes you to beat them and get through all the cutscenes and things like that. So why would they do that just for some DLCs when they know the DLCs are really going to sell whether or not the visuals for the story look good? Like, at this point in time, people aren't buying the DLC for the story. People are buying the DLC for the character. They can find out what the hell happens in the story by just watching other YouTubers and things along those lines. So again, why would they be improving on these graphics if it's not something that is meant for another game, man? So there are multiple things besides how this story seems to be going that do point to the potential of Xenoverse 3. But like I said earlier on in the video, nothing is confirmed at this point in time, but it does seem like the future for Xenoverse seems pretty bright. Like, the future of this game seems like it still has a good amount of content left, whether, like I said, that be 3 or more DLC in the future. But it does not seem like this story that we got going on with you is anywhere near over, and honestly, it seems like we are just in the beginning phases of this story at the same time. But let me know what you guys think about all this, man. What have been your thoughts from what we've seen from DLC 12 and the little bits and pieces of DLC 13 story that we've gotten up until this point in time? Did you guys feel like your boy did when we saw that whole connecting to a new timeline thing and what that could possibly mean, and then also the interaction between Fu and Bardock? Did you guys think that that is also potentially setting up a Xenoverse 3 like I do? Let me know all that stuff down below in the comments, man. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do enjoy making these speculation / prediction videos for you guys. So again, let me know how much you guys are enjoying them down below. But as always, man, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, hope you have a good day. Peace, y'all.